You're in the mix.
The world's finest, man. DJ.
Welcome to the Big Rich Movie Review Hour here on YouTube. Every Monday evenings weekly.
Oh my God. Shut the front door.
What?
Sit back as we break down some of our favorite movies and compare opinions and ratings. No, there will be spoilers during the broadcast. Always remember to like, share, and subscribe.
What's good, people? What's good, people? Big Rich here again. And welcome to the Big Rich Movie Review here Monday. We're trying to stick to a better timetable. So going up about 2-3 hours later, but at least we here on Monday like we supposed to be. Hope your weekend was good. And now you want to chill and listen to my silly ass voice about some movies. Now, I've gotten like 4 or 5 requests on different movies and stuff, so we're good for the rest of the month. But keep them coming in. Last week, I said that we were thinking about doing a Twitter account and an email address. We haven't done a Twitter account yet, but the email address is bigrich.moviereview@gmail.com. That's bigrich.moviereview@gmail.com. So instead of sending your questions and movies and stuff like that to bigrichlivenonthe.com or, at gmail.com, go ahead on and send it to bigricmoviereview@gmail.com. Okay, what we're going to talk about today is Jack Reacher 2. Never Go Back. I know. I had said something about we was probably going to do Hidden Colors. Not Hidden Colors. Hidden Figures. We're going to do Hidden Colors also. If you don't know about it, it's an excellent documentary, a 4-part documentary by Tariq Nasheed. If you really want to know about history of African Americans all over the world, the true history, I would invest in those 4. It's Hidden Colors 1 through 4. But we were going to hit Hidden Figures with Taraji P. Henderson and a couple other really, really strong actors and actresses. But to tell you the truth, I didn't get a chance to go see it this weekend. So we'll try to do that next weekend, but I might move it down because I got a couple of good requests. One is the Magnificent Seven. The other one is Hateful Eight. Stuff like that. Actually, we did Magnificent Seven. Didn't we do Magnificent? Yes, we did Magnificent Seven last show. Forgive me. Okay, forgive me. I'm fasting today, so I'm not all right together. But yeah, we did Magnificent Seven last week. So maybe do Hateful Eight or something like that. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to stop prophesizing or trying to predict what is coming up next week's show. I'll just tweet out the show the day before or maybe the morning of so you guys will know what it is, okay? So Jack Reacher number 2, Never Go Back, is a action-packed thriller. It was released October 2017. It's an hour and 58 minutes long. You might as well say 2 hours long. The IMDb score is 6.1 out of 10, which is, above average. It was PG-13. I first have to say that I enjoy Tom Cruise. I think he's an excellent action actor. I mean, I go back all the way to Risky Business, when he was young, and then Top Gun, which to me, to this day, is the best fighter movie ever made. And all the way up to the Mission Impossible series. Now he's going to be a catalyst or the main star of The Mummy. They rebooted The Mummy. So we'll check and we'll see how that is. But I'm a good fan. I'm a real big fan, and I actually enjoyed this movie. It was action packed from the beginning to the end. A lot of people saw the coming attractions or the first trailer where spoilers, ding, 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 spoilers. It will be spoilers. But the first scene starts off based on the trailer that you saw, that he was in handcuffs. He was talking to a sheriff and his deputy, and the phone was ringing, and he picked up the phone. Then the deputy winds up getting arrested. I'm not going to give the plot out, but it started out just like that, and to me, it was ebbs and flows, but pretty much nonstop. It wasn't like a long dry spot where you was like, oh my goodness, that type of stuff right there. And to me, if you compare this to like the Sleepless that I debuted this show on, where in Sleepless the protagonist, the star, pretty much got his ass beat the entire movie. This one, yeah, he took a few L's, but it was like a few battles. It wasn't the war type thing. So it was definitely something where, for the most part, he took his lumps, but, he ended up on the right side in every, altercation, which is basically what you should have in a type of action flick. You don't go to the movie, at least you shouldn't go to the movies and think that the main star or even the co-stars is going to get their ass beat the entire time. It's like, well, what the hell did I come here for? You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just ridiculous. So some of the co-stars is Kobe Smulders. She played the Air Force, I want to say Major Turner. And a new guy, I've never seen him before, Addis Harge. He was Captain Espen. He started out with being one of the bad people that you thought might wind up being one of the henchmen, but he wind up being one of the saviors, which is pretty cool. And he didn't die at the end, which we know a lot of African Americans, get to dying. I mean, shoot, there used to be a running joke back in the day when I was younger that, brother be getting killed in the coming attractions. You know what I'm saying? The credits ain't even start rolling and the brother dead. And then you had a new, as far as new to me, who played the daughter. Her name was, the daughter's name was Samantha. And then the big bad, which they called the hunter, is Patrick Hensinger. And you remember when we was talking about Sleepless, and I keep bringing this again because Sleepless and Jack Reacher to me are in the same genre. And, this big bad to me made it believable. You follow what I'm saying? You felt his machismo, if you will. You felt that he was a badass. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he killed with impunity, and when he killed, and he didn't have a whole bunch of henchmen following him around and all of that type of stuff. So it was definitely believable. It really was. Now, as far as the screenplay is concerned, and as far as the script and stuff like that, yeah, there was a lot of, not necessarily negatives, but there was a lot of things that was left open. Like the relationship with Tom Cruise, with Reacher and Turner. I remember I said Turner is what was the female lead, if you will. You never really understood where their relationship started and why they have a relationship. You follow what I'm saying? I mean, you can feel that there was some type of sexual tension over the phone, because that's basically how you got introduced to her. Was Jack Reacher contacted her and they going back and forth, throwing sexual innuendos and barbs at each other and stuff like that. But you never really understood, or never really was explained to you why Jack will be calling her. I mean, it wasn't like she was in charge of his benefits or anything like that. So that sort of was like, But again, that was sort of picky. So I moved on. I was like, okay, I'll suspend my imagination for a little bit, and let's roll with it. The second part to me that was sort of unbelievable was when Samantha, the alleged daughter, was brought into the storyline. The way he even found out about her was that this judge advocate who had been appointed, the court appointed lawyer for Turner, who at that particular time was arrested for treason, possible treason. Reacher was sitting down with the judge advocate trying to go over the case for Turner, and then he was like, "Oh, you're a deadbeat dad." This is what the judge advocate said, that you're a deadbeat dad, and Jack Reacher was like, "What the heck are you talking about? I don't have any kids." And then the judge advocate was like, "Well, yeah, some female came in and said that you were the father to her child, and they had this whole big workup and dossier." And I was like, okay, so that means any independent person come, and again, maybe I might be nitpicking and stuff like that, but then you'd be like, well, any independent person can come off the street and say, okay, this is my baby's daddy? Really? I didn't really understand that at all. And then, okay, well, they made it believable, which was good. So they made it believable. Well, Jack Reacher was like, well, maybe I did impregnate somebody and just didn't know about it. So now, in his crusade to clear Turner, he now brought this girl, Samantha, into the fray, and now all three of them are thrown together, and they have to try to not only clear Turner's name, because at this time Reacher is now wanted for treason, espionage, murder, all of this type of stuff right here. So now all three of them are put together, and it was sort of like a hodgepodge. I hate this is one thing I hate. I hate it in real life, and I hate it when they put it in Hollywood pictures. And what I mean by that is women who they make a character where that's a female that feels that she has to go above and beyond because she's a female, or she needs a male protector, that type of stuff, and I just felt that it was both of those together. It was, okay, I need a man to protect me, not from her, but I'm just saying, you got that vibe from the movie, how the screenplay was going, but then she was going above and beyond. And my thing is this, sometimes, somebody is smarter than you, somebody is faster than you, somebody's better than you, somebody is stronger than you. And she kept getting her ass whipped, and I'm like, okay, this is a trained killer. I'm not saying run and hide, but he's kicking your ass, literally. But you coming back for more. So I guess, I guess I need to correct myself, because let's just say that it was a smaller male and he kept doing that, then people would think that, he was crazy, but they'd be like, okay, well, I respect him. So I guess I should do the same with a female character. I just felt that, they didn't give her enough to stand on her own feet. Now, what I will say is, and agree with, because I'll get some comments down below, I'll get DM'd or email, and was like, well, women go through that every day. And I believe that. I do believe that, but the fact of the matter is, this is all supposed to be science fiction, if you will. And just because it happens does not mean that you have to do it all the time. Like, oh, we got a female lead, we got a female action star. Okay, let's put a man with her. Let's put her, in a precarious situation, to quote unquote be stereotypical. You know what I'm saying? But then again, I also hear from people who say, now, ain't nowhere in the world she beat all five of them, that type of stuff. So I don't know. It's 6 in one hand, half dozen in the other. But getting back to the show, I thought that it was choppy. It was choppy where, you start out where they're, like I said, throwing in sexual innuendos. Then he comes to visit her. Then he finds out that she's not only no longer in command, but she's been arrested. Then he tries to find the judge advocate. The judge advocate is saying, well, she said she gave specific orders that you are not to be involved. Why would she do that? You know what I'm saying? The whole beginning of the film, when they were going back and forth, she was basically drinking his Kool-Aid, how great he was, and how basically she was trying to fill his role, because I guess when he was in active duty, he was a major and he was in her position or whatever it might be, so I'm like, okay, well, if you know who you dealing with, if you know that this is the man, if you will, somebody to help you out, why would you sit around and be like, okay, well, absolutely no way, shape, or form should he be told anything to help me? I never understood that. I just didn't. It was almost like, okay, I just want the female to be a bitch, really. You know what I'm saying? Excuse my French, but that's what it just sort of seemed like to me. So it was very choppy. It was very choppy. And the relationship, I thought, with Reacher and Samantha, his alleged daughter, I believed that it was organic. I believed that they worked it. I thought he was a little bit stiff in the beginning, and then it almost went off the cliff. And then he kind of sort of started maybe not warming up, but not being so much of a straight asshole, if you will, So I kind of understood and agreed with that. And it kept my attention, if you will. But the co-stars were solid. Even the minor co-stars, they had a female. Again, these are spoilers, but I really don't want to break down the entire, because I want you to actually go, if you haven't seen it, I want you to actually go and rent it, and go to the Red Box, or, I would say buy it. But if you don't want to take my word for it, go to the Red Box and stuff like that, or stream it. It's on demand still, if I'm not mistaken. And, watch it. I guarantee you will like it. I really do. Now, was it as a lot of people have asked me, was it as good as the first one? No, but very few films are. Very few films are. Every now and again, you have something where you be like, you know what? All three, like, to me, Back to the Future, the trilogy, I thought every last one of them was good, was as good as, if not better than the one before. Now, to me, I like 1, 3, and then 2. That's that trilogy. Indiana Jones, 1, 2, 3, and 4. I enjoyed all 4 of them, but I like 1 and 3 best. Then I liked 4. I like 2 the least. So that's kind of normal. But I think that Tom Cruise played his butt off. His co-stars did what they could with what they was given. I liked the ending. I liked the way it ended. The flow, like I said, was a little choppy, so they could have cleaned that up a little bit. A couple of things, could have been, I felt, explained a little bit better, so you wasn't really like, huh? That type of stuff. But from a scale to 1 to 10, I would give this a solid 7 or a B, a straight B. I recommend this movie for your catalog. This is a good popcorn movie that you can watch 2 or 3 times with your loved one. You can watch by yourself, on your couch, that type of stuff right there. If I had did this review, if I was doing this show back in October of last year, I would have definitely recommended you to spend the $9 to $12, depending on what showing you was going to go see this movie. So with that, that's the end of this review. I hope you enjoyed it. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Leave your comments down below. Remember, the email address is bigrichmoviereview@gmail.com. In the meantime, in between time, stay blessed. Peace. I'm out of here.